Is Stephanie warm or cool? Is she light or dark? Or is she bright or muted? What do you think? Hi, my name is Eve. I created color analysis system that's based on chroma, lightness and hue to help you understand which colors fit you best. Today I'm gonna analyze Stephanie. Let's look at her colors. So this is the image I will use for color analysis. We can see that we need some adjusting to do. The goal for adjustments besides temperature is also bringing lightness higher, because the whole color analysis system digitally is based on a precise lighting, and we need to match it to understand which colors fit best. Color pixels are at their maximum, while person's coloring may be too dark. So that's why I brighten her up. Actually, she's leaning more light in first impression, but maybe in the middle. There's not a lot of contrast, so I don't think she would be like a bright season. It's more a bit muted. So if we have to choose between bright or muted season, it leans towards muted. But let's see with testing. And we're gonna crop her out and put her into Hoodie. And this is my really cool system which I created, where we go over chroma, lightness and hues, lots of different tests, lots of different drapings. I've taken the color wheel and divided it by 48 colors, so we have all around equal like intervals of colors, and then I've divided each hue in smaller steps where you can see this is just one hue, and there are bright colors to muted, light to deep, and yes, and that's it. So we are testing all chromas or lightnesses, and so we're gonna understand which are Stephanie's best colors. This is the only color system, as far as I know, which offers you to drape virtually in 933 colors like this, and you can compare actually right there each color if it fits you, or maybe a bit brighter fits you, so you can just analyze it yourself. And you can also ask me or do color analysis somewhere else and just have this for reference and understanding and just exploration of yourself. We're gonna first test the chroma. This is the color triangle, and you can see that we're testing from brighter to more muted colors. So let's start with the bright one. We can see Stephanie both in the color rectangle with only face and also in the Hoodie. So the first impression is that this bright color is too bright because it overwhelms Stephanie. It's not like the contrast matches. And the next is clear group. I still see a bit of overwhelming effect. It's like it's hard to focus on her eyes. Our goal is to find the highest chroma which will not overwhelm but will resonate. So this is the next chroma. I think it's quite alright. You can see that her eyes are in focus. The color is not overwhelming. The same with the Hoodie. Let's move to the next, the muted group. The muted group, I immediately see a bit of grayness coming out compared to the medium group. The medium group, Stephanie, is quite bright and shiny, and yeah, we focus on her eyes. Pigments are perceptually mixed together, which is the goal of color analysis. And now in the next, I already start seeing the lines a bit, and then we move to the fully muted colors, and we already can see that Stephanie is, the color looks very gray on her, and for someone who is muted, it would never look that gray. It would look quite bright actually. So I think Stephanie is medium. But then also let's go through the orange and the pink version, so we can just compare the warm and cool. The same I see here. The clear seems a bit too bright still, but not very bad. Medium seems to be aligned. The muted color is making her gray a bit, and fully muted definitely is not her best. So from this only I can clearly see that she's not very bright and she's not very muted, so the medium average. And so we're looking at the pink one, the same. The medium color is quite alright, but something I see a disconnect there. The muted color, a bit too gray. The same with the fully muted. So, because I picked the medium colors, I will now move to medium lightness. So we're gonna go through the triangle part, which is medium, from light to deep. Let's start with the deep, because I think she's not deep, so it's easier to understand where to stop. Yes, the first thing I see is that color is very strong on her. There is a border from her skin to the color. It's not bad, but it's like very strong. The next color, this one is already better, because if we see here again the border between the skin and the color, and that means it might be a bit too dark. And then we move to the next one and we don't see that border. It's fitting really well. The only focus is actually on Stephanie. So I think this is the group. This is also a medium group, so it's medium. And when we move to medium light, I think it's also really good. Maybe a bit too light for her. I like the medium one better. It's so balanced. Fully light, then we can see that there's like a light in the background. The color is very light on her, and it's it usually fits light groups and like light summer, light spring, true spring, but Stephanie is clearly a bit muted. These side colors are stronger than the middle colors in terms of intensity. We're gonna check also the orange one. Orange, as the color is lighter itself, so it's a bit different, but generally I think the middle color again looks the best. The lighter seems too light, and with the cool ones as well. So I would say that the middle color or the light color. The next step I do is just check out the lightness with just gray colors, so we can understand the absolute lightness. So it's complicated a bit how I structured the colors, so I'm not gonna go into that, but generally there is a parameter absolute lightness, which is when you gray down the color, it's exactly the same. So there is a certain absolute lightness which will fit best. So it's not like a set in stone parameter, but it's easy to check because then you know your home lightness and you know which colors could be too dark or too light for you. White, clearly this is too bright for her, and it's usually just for the winters. That looks good. Light, too light for her. The lightened, it's quite all right. Medium light, I like this one. It's 65 absolute lightness, so this is quite all right, and 50 I think is all right too. Maybe, probably, Stephanie is in the middle, maybe somewhere 58 or something like that, but in the middle I think. This is a bit too light for the perfect lightness. And if we move to medium dark, then we can start to see how color overwhelms her. The same with the dark, the deep, and the black is very harsh on her, so she's not black. Now we're going to move on to temperature. So these are different settings of temperature. We're going to just scroll through that and find the group we actually chose, which is intensity medium and value medium. So let's look at Stephanie in orange and pink, magenta pink. First impressions, warm resonates with Stephanie. The color of her hair, which is natural in roots, is quite warm in my opinion, and the eyes are those blue-green type of eyes, and I see also freckles, so it's very typical for warm people. And when we compare to cool, the color is actually fitting in terms of intensity and value, but there is a bit of a disconnect, especially you can see here. Just focus on her and see how much of warmness you see with her hair and skin, and then the cold pink, and there is a disconnect. While in the orange, there is no border between Hoodie and her skin. So I think it's an easy warm. The warm pink or cool red color, which actually usually fits a lot of people, most people can wear, that's why I tested it. And you can see that it's quite all right, but still it's a bit too cool. She's not like visually happy, as I see it usually when I analyze colors. In the warm one, it aligns much better. It fits like one continuous picture. So gold and silver, we have the same effect where we see that there's a bit of grayness coming out. She's not getting that warm glow, while comparing here to the gold, immediately the eyes start shining and she looks much warmer in a healthy way, while here she is like pale. And the darker silver, I think there are a lot of pigments now. And in the darker gold, I think also more pigments than in the lighter gold, which would represent more of a spring in seasonal analysis. Stephanie is medium intensity, medium lightness, and warm. Now we're gonna look at seasonal comparisons. There are multiple comparisons, which I do, but we're gonna skip through them because they are just not relevant for Stephanie. The cool ones, the too deep ones, the bright ones, light ones, muted ones are not relevant, so we're gonna move to the warm seasonal comparison. Through spring to through autumn, the color is generally fitting, but you see how deep and dark it is on Stephanie. Now we move to the warm autumn, maybe a bit too overwhelming. The medium group, which is warm, I think this one is good, and warm spring, also good. So I would say that Stephanie is somewhere warm spring, warm, somewhere more on the warm spring side, more lighter than darker colors in the middle group. And then we have true spring, and we clearly see how true spring is way too much for Stephanie. Closest match for her in the seasonal system would be warm spring or warm, the part between autumn and spring. Now when we understood all parameters, we can compare a lot of hues. I have 24 hues here compared by seasons, and because Stephanie was more in the middle, we're gonna look at the middle comparisons, which are below. So let's move on to the warm red. We can compare through autumn through winter, and here's warm autumn, warm spring, through summer. So all these colors are structured in this way, and I think also we can see warm autumn a bit too bright and warm and warm spring are the ones I would choose. I would choose the middle one. I like the middle one best. The orange. I think this hue is better for Stephanie. It's not that all hues look the same for a person. Some hues look better. Like this hue I think is not as good as the previous. It's a bit lighter. This is a 60-degree hue. And so we go through all these, the green ones, comparing the green ones. This I think is her best neutral blue-green color. You can see how the typical winter blue seems too harsh on Stephanie, too cool for her. This is the warmer purple, and this one also really fits really well. I would analyze these colors a bit deeper to see exactly how Stephanie looks in all colors. Let's look at one hue, how different colors fit Stephanie. I'm choosing warm green because it's actually a tricky color, because green colors look quite bright on people in general. A very bright color. This is the base of the color, and then we have lighter colors just adding white, darker colors just adding black, and the middle ones are the muted colors. So if we go down as initially we did, we see that the clear group is still quite overwhelming and the medium group is fitting quite well, but maybe there's a bit of a question if this still isn't too bright for Stephanie. Maybe we want to achieve the harmony, which when you wear it, like, you don't see the color almost. We can compare this muted group. It is quite okay, it looks good, but then the face is a bit flatter. If you compare to a stronger group, the medium group, immediately the eyes pop out. The face looks younger and looks more structured. The jawline looks structured, and because color is the correct intensity, then somehow the eyes and the color resonate. The result is that face looks like more blurred in our perception, which is sort of good because the pigments are actually smoothed out, and also the hair looks much richer, deeper. Compare again the bright one and here the muted one, and you see the hair is a bit grayer. Gray colors, they look really gray for her. Stephanie should not wear the muted, very muted colors. So generally speaking, if I would have to give colors for Stephanie, I would give these three and also these three, or maybe the light one as well, if she needs to wear something lighter. Here, the fully light color will be too light for her, but because she's not light, she will never look exactly perfect in these light colors. Her place is in the middle, and I would say if you want to resonate, pop out, wear the medium colors. If you want to be more neutral, calm, and maybe not so visible generally, then you can step down and do not go too dark and too deep. Medium dark would be the darkest color to choose, and then compare to the actual bright color, and now you see what overwhelming means. The reason why it sometimes looks that the color is bright is because the skin, hair, and eyes are never so bright. They're always in the muted group, and when we compare let's compare just the face. I hope you can see just without eyes, and you see that the muted group is a bit grayish here, and it's not shining, and you can see the flatness in the face. Now let's move to the medium group, and it's the same image, but it looks so alive. You can see even in 3D her face. So this is the best group. I just wanted to show the difference, so you see what is harmony. The harmony is the radiance, not only that you are flat in the same color. You can wear them, but that won't be that radiant effect which everyone wants. The wow colors, the transformation, the glow up. So this is gonna be like a less of that. Your more intense range will be your wow color. Stephanie, stay in the middle. If you want to see how your colors look in clothes, you can go to Qolord, shop by color. It's a new section. It's very cool with cool filters. You can open filters and you can choose your intensity: medium, volume, medium, temperature, warm, and neutral. And take a look. These are your colors. Press on any of these and you will have a lot of data about colors, where the color is at, and see awesome products that you can order and that will be made on demand for you. I hope you enjoyed Stephanie, and if you also want color analysis like this or virtual draping color hoodies, check out Qolord.com, write to me and follow me for more information like this.